students, welcome to biology e-learning classes, and today we'll be continuing with your chapter tissues. Okay, in my last link I hope you have solved all the questions or gone through all the questions, and you have if you have any doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section. Okay, today we'll be starting with the animal tissues, which I have already told that since animals are moving organisms, so their tissues are much more different from the plant tissues. Okay. Now, there are mainly four types of animal tissues. The mainly epithelial tissue, muscular tissue, connective tissue, and nervous tissue. Okay. So, further, the epithelial tissue is divided into four: the squamous epithelium, columnar epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, and glandular epithelium. The muscular tissue is further divided into three, that is the striated, unstriated, and the cardiac tissues. Okay, the connective tissue is further divided into mainly seven, that is the blood, bone, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, areolar, and adipose. Okay, firstly, coming to the details of the epithelial tissue. Usually it covers the outer lining. Like plants, there is epidermis. In case of animals, there is epithelial tissue. Okay, it covers the outer lining of everything in human body and acts as a protective layer. Okay, it also covers the cavities present inside our body. Now, where is this tissue mainly found? It is found in the lining of the blood vessels, lining of the mouth, kidney tubules, skin, lung and alveoli, etc. Okay. Coming to the structure of the epithelial tissue, also the function, since we can see that main function of the epithelial tissue is to act as a barrier and separate different organs and systems from each other, and there is no space between the cells. Okay, since its function is protection, there is no intercellular spaces. This tissue is usually permeable in nature. Okay, that means it allows the exchange of different materials in and out through it, and it remains separated from the tissues beneath them because of a thin membrane over them. Okay, this thin membrane is a fibrous basement membrane. Okay, now coming to the different types of epithelial tissues. First, the simple squamous. The structure of the simple squamous it has a delicate lining in the cell and possesses a flat thin structure. Okay, and these are mostly found in the alveoli in the lungs, and Bowman's capsule in the nephron of the kidney. Okay, now when the epithelium squamous are arranged in several layers, they become the stratified squamous. Okay, and it forms a thick covering. So it is mostly found in skin. Coming to the columnar epithelial tissue, they are column-like. Okay, they are pillar-like cells which is mostly present in the intestine. Okay, and when these pillar-like cells contain cilia on the surface, they form the ciliated columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, what is the function of the cilia? Usually they increase the surface area for absorption. Okay, and they are found in the respiratory system. Next is the cuboidal epithelium. The cells in these tissues are cube shaped and mainly involves in absorption and secretion, and since the process of absorption and secretion takes place in the kidney, so they are found in the kidney tubules. Lastly, the glandular epithelial tissue, which is made up of special gland cells that can secrete substances, mainly the chemical substances, the hormones like sweat glands, tear glands, many other endocrine and exocrine glands inside the body. Okay, next we will if you see, these are the various types of epithelial tissues. Okay, please go through the diagram of each of the epithelium tissues in your NCERT. Okay, next we will be starting with the muscular tissue. Okay, Now, usually it is made up of muscle fibers which are long cells, and it also allows the movement in our body. Now, how does these causes movement? Actually, this tissue contains special type of protein called the contractile protein. These proteins cause contraction and relaxation of the muscles. Mainly, there are two types of muscular tissue if we categorize, that is the voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Okay, now the voluntary muscles are also called the skeletal muscles or the striated muscles, and they help in movement according to our will. We can use them, or rather our brain controls this controls the movement of this voluntary muscles. Okay, now they are called skeletal muscles because they are attached to the bones, and they are also called the striated muscles because of the presence of dark and light bands over them. Okay, there are striations. These alternative presence of dark and light band is are called striations. Okay, the cells of the voluntary muscles have more than one nucleus. They do not have any branches and have a long cylindrical structure. Okay, and you, as the name suggests, that it is a type of muscular tissue. These are the example of this tissue is the muscles of our hands, legs, etc. Okay. Coming to the next one, that is unstriated, smooth or involuntary muscles. Okay, and why they are involuntary? Because our brain cannot control the movement of this type of muscle tissue. They are also called the smooth muscle tissues. Okay, they are unstriated because there is no alternative light and dark bands present on them, and the cells of the involuntary muscles are long and have pointed ends. They are usually found in the alimentary canal and iris of our eyes. Lastly, the cardiac muscles. Okay, the cardiac muscle tissue. The term cardiac is always related to heart. That means the cardiac muscles, that means the muscles of the heart. Obviously, the heart doesn't beat according to us, so it is also made up of involuntary muscles. The muscles of the heart are called cardiac muscles, and they perform usually rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout our life. And the cells of these tissues are cylindrical in shape, and they have branches, and there is a single nucleus. Okay. Cardiac muscles usually consist of individual heart muscles connected by intercalated discs to work as a single function organ. Okay, so today up to this. In my next video we will continue with our next with the other animal tissues. Thank you.